Hi everyone! Welcome back to another episode. Medyo ilang weeks din or months na hindi ako nakapag-publish ng video, and that is primarily because, may excuse ako. That's because I got so busy being a student. I didn't expect it to take so much of my time. It's my last semester as a computer science student at UP University. Hopefully last sem na, and I am currently taking 3 subjects, my last 3 subjects, at medyo madugo ang aming activities in the past weeks. But fortunately, medyo nakaka-survive. And with that, I'm here again to answer some of the questions sa comment section ng previous videos natin about UP Open University. So, without further ado, let's get started. Meron po bang online class through Zoom with other learners? How do professors and students interact? Magkahiwalay itong questions na to pero pinagsama ko na lang since similar lang naman sila ng answer. This is purely based on my experience. So I can't speak for other degrees but I believe same naman ang approach sa lahat because this is how UPOU is designed as an open university. There's no live class like via Zoom, no. Asynchronous po ang classes, and this is because, based on my understanding, there are students located outside the country as well as working students. So it's really hard to have that same class schedule for everyone. I hope that makes sense. So the professors and students interact inside the student portal. So once you are enrolled, you will have access to the student portal and you will be given access to the subjects you are enrolled in. And from there, ma-access mo yung content ng lesson, activities, video lectures, discussion forums, resources. Now, if you want to have some experience accessing the student portal without enrolling yet, I do suggest register dun sa free courses offered by the university. I made a video explaining that. Feel free to watch that. So, similar interface ng student portal ang ginagamit dun sa free and paid courses. How much is the estimated amount to enroll? The tuition fee at this point of making this video is 1,000 pesos per unit. Each subject usually is 3 units, so more like 3,000 per subject. Now, let's say you are applying for a diploma degree and you will be enrolling 2 subjects for this semester because that's usually the max number of subjects that you can take per semester unless you request to overload your subjects. So, for the 2 subjects, in 1 semester, that's 6,000 plus some miscellaneous fees like library, lab, and other school stuff. If you're a new student, you will have to pay for your student ID. So approximately around 2,000 for miscellaneous fees. So enrolling 2 subjects in 1 semester is worth 8,000 pesos to enroll. If 3 subjects plus 3,000, so roughly around 11,000. So yeah, it's worth something, but definitely lesser than those in private universities. By the way, if you are enrolling for associate and bachelor's degree, as long as you meet the qualifications, the tuition fee is free. For a person with no background in programming, mahirap po ba maintindihan ng mga modules and curriculum? So, this question is particularly for diploma in computer science. Actually, once you are enrolled, you are expected to have some background in programming because it's one of the requirements. You should be proficient in at least 1 programming language. And if you don't have any background yet, or you haven't learned any programming language, I highly suggest starting learning as soon as you can, especially if you're planning to apply anytime soon, because a certification will be required, particularly the Python certification from Codecademy. I have added the link to the description for reference. So yeah, definitely you will have to familiarize yourself with at least 1 programming language, and Python is definitely a beginner-friendly language. May consultations po ba for the professors na binibigay if may mga topics na hindi maintindihan ang students? So, professors have different preferences when it comes to communicating with students about their concerns. Some prefer that the students reach out to them via email. Some naman prefer all communication stay inside the student portal. Sometimes they'll create a discussion forum just for questions. And it's unlikely that a professor schedules a one-on-one meeting with a student, especially that this teaching and learning model promotes independent learning. Students are never spoon-fed, and it's always the student's responsibility to comply with the deadlines and learn the lessons, again, independently. Professors are there to facilitate and support, but not to spoon-feed the student. Meron po bang group projects? Based on my experience, yes. And it's one of the most challenging parts of being in an open university. It's very challenging to collaborate with your classmates, with your group mates, kasi it's expected that, especially with graduate studies, students are working professionals. And if there are cases wherein your group mate is located in another country, different time zone, that's another challenge pa din. Maybe if 3 to 4 members in a group, I think that's somewhat manageable. But there's a subject wherein we are 20 members in the group, and I think it's still part of the learning process, of the challenge of this setup, how to deal and communicate with your network of people. You get to learn from them, they get to learn from you, but it's challenging. There are cases where it's optional. You can accomplish a project on your own, with a partner, or with group mates, stuff like that. How are the exams? Are these done online? Yes, there are exams that are timed, like you're given 30 minutes, 1 hour to complete the exam. There are exams naman wherein you have to submit an output. So, iba-iba din, depende sa professor. May computer specs po ba na needed for the activities? Wala namang ni-require. I think as long as updated naman ng OS and hindi mo naman kailangan ng high-end device for the course. May awards po ba upon graduation for high grades? Yes, for undergraduate programs, same Latin honor, summa, magna, cum laude. For graduate programs, chancellor's list and dean's list. Ano po ba ang best month ng pag-submit ng application? I would say as early as you can, but don't expect to receive prompt response from the admissions right away, especially kung matagal pa yung upcoming semester. Siguro share ko lang yung sa akin. I submitted around last week ng March, and I think early submission pa siya. Then I have mailed the hard copies of my requirements via LBC. And then naka-receive ako ng email from the admissions ng around last week yun ng May. So about 2 months waiting time din sa case ko. So based on experience, nagpa-process sila ng application around May, which is usually the end of the second semester. If okay ang requirements and qualifications, then goods na. If may mga follow-up docs pa, then you still have time to accomplish them kasi August naman usually ang enrollment for the first semester. Ano po ang undergraduate degree ninyo at nag-DCS po kayo at gusto niyo po mag-MIS? So, for reference, DCS is Diploma in Computer Science, MIS is Masters in Information Systems. And to answer the question, my bachelor's degree is Math, BS Math for teachers sa Philippine Normal University. And then in 2023, I got interested in diving into the tech industry, and so I have explored the MIS degree in UPOU. So that's the original plan, to take the MIS, but since my bachelor's is not tech or IT related, I have to take DCS first, and so I did. And hopefully, as of this moment, hindi pa ako nakaka-receive ng email na approve na yung application ko for graduation. But hopefully, I will be graduating from DCS and will be eligible to take the MIS. So, that's my story. Alright, that's 10 questions for today, and next time na ulit yung iba, feel free to watch my other episodes if you haven't watched them yet. And if you have further questions, I'd love to answer them as much as I can. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.